Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Factor blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
Biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Happy Monday to you. To kick off to the week, it's beautiful weather outside, and I got my man The Dream on the line. Kid, what's up today, man?
Son, please talk to me about what happened yesterday.
The biggest, one of the probably the biggest fourth quarter collapse in a decade. 26 points, you're up at the end of the third quarter, and the Cavs lose the game. Dream, I can't believe that even happened. I actually stopped watching the game and went out to dinner because I figured the Cavs were all set. So you can only imagine the anxiety I had as I looked at my phone and the Hawks were down 17, then 14, then 11, then 9. Kid, what happened?
I have no idea what happened. I watched the game. Luckily enough, I was smart enough once they were up so much, and plus a bunch of money. I jumped on the money line for the Atlanta Hawks.
Right on.
And that absolutely, you know what? And guys, gang, I put an example of that out. Please understand, Hat turned me on to that system. It wasn't something that I used to use, but he's come across that. If you got a big wager in, it behooves you because, I mean, I would have lost, a significant amount because it was a heavy wager. And thanks to you, I ended up making money.
Yeah, right, exactly. So what he did, guys, was because it's a huge wager, he bet the other side when the Atlanta Hawks were so far down. And, 9 times out of 10, Dream, you're kind of throwing away the $100 or whatever. But in a situation like that, where, you could have lost over $1,000, but you actually end up making money, that works out pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit of insurance.
It works out. We were lucky in that situation, and guys, it doesn't always land like that. So I mean, some of these, and it's why you have to watch the games as well. But whenever you get a monumental lead like that, especially in the 20s, I mean, we saw numbers as high as, I think at one point it was 17 plus 1,700. Yep. The Hawks were. If you see a number like that, and you've got, a heavy wager on, it's worth it. Look, I ended up throwing 75 on. I think I caught it at, I want to say 13 and change. And, $75 covered the whole, $1,000 wager. So you got to be careful in those situations. And I know sometimes it seems frivolous because at the time, Hat and I are looking at it and we're saying to ourselves, you know what? The Cavs ain't having it. They're going to blow them out. Forget it. Luckily enough, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to just to be safe, just throw it on there. And I did. And thank God.
And imagine if you did $150 Dream.
No doubt.
You would have made a Geno
definitely.
Anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been nice. But, hey, you know what? You did it just to cover your wager, so I can respect that. I did the same thing as well. And I actually was seeing some crazier numbers than you were. You were seeing plus 1,000. I was like, nah, it's plus 1,600. You're like, no, I'm getting 1,000. I saw it go up to plus 5,300 at one point.
And you know what was ticking me off was because when we originally started looking at it, it kept dropping. It started around 800, and then it went up to like 12, and then it would drop because the line adjusts every time they score, gang. So it just kept going back and forth. And I was getting mad because I wanted to catch it at least 1,300 or better, and I just couldn't catch it. And finally, because the Cavs made that last minute push right before the half and got up a little bit more points, I finally was able to get it at I think I got it right at the beginning of the third quarter because they came out and scored 2 times real quick. Right at the beginning of the third quarter, I got it at I forget, 1350 or whatever, and I was like, fine, I'm gonna punch it in now. And luckily enough, it ended up saving the day for me.
Well, good for you, man. Well, I'm looking at a couple of other spots in the NBA, some teams that need to win here.
Well, Okay, before we even get into that,
Yes.
we definitely got to talk about that right now. Okay, and guys, we're gonna go right into it because it's all 7:00 starts for the most part. Please understand that the Milwaukee Bucks, the Indiana Pacers, the Chicago Bulls, they all need to win situations, because if the Milwaukee Bucks lose, the Indiana Pacers win, or Milwaukee and Indiana lose, the Bulls win, you will have these three teams basically flip-flop positions. Chicago can move from the 8th spot to the 6th spot, and the Bucks can move all the way to the 8th spot. And not only that, please keep in mind that according to the reports, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not – LeBron's not playing, Kyrie's not playing, Kevin Love's not playing, and Tristan Thompson are not playing. So you got 4 of the Cavs' main dogs not playing, which gives Miami a great opportunity to win this game. If those teams lose and Miami wins, Miami can move to the 6th spot. So keep that in mind, as a lot of flip-flopping can happen in the NBA as far as the Eastern Conference is concerned tonight.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. The East is a mess. What I love is the West is all tied up.
Yeah.
And the East is a mess.
Well, you got a lot of parity in the East, Dream.
Yeah, a lot of parity. All right. And another note about the West, as far as I'm concerned, Russell Westbrook, hands down MVP.
Oh, all day. When you average a triple-double, come on.
Yeah, I mean they're doing the James Harden talk still, and okay, I know Harden's awesome with his layups. You know, everybody's standing around and let Harden do a layup. But look, I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, Russell Westbrook deserves the MVP. Give him the MVP and get it done with. I don't think it's even any contest. I don't even think it's a debatable point right now.
Absolutely not. So I'm looking at a bunch of stuff, and speaking of Harden and the Houston Rockets, they're playing at the Clips tonight, and they're getting 8 points. So that's leading me to believe that there's going to be some people sitting for the Houston Rockets tonight, Dream. Getting 8 points? That doesn't make any sense.
I did not look at the Houston Rockets situation. Well, they're playing the Timberwolves, so
Yeah.
I'm not.
No. The Clippers are playing the Rockets.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, there we go. Clippers are playing the Rockets. Yes, sir. You're right.
All right. So, taking a look at that, that leads me to believe that Harden is out. I'm going to pull it up right here, guys, if that's the case. We got to see what the Clippers have to play for here. But
Well, the Utah Jazz and the Clippers have the same record currently. Jazz are playing the Warriors tonight, so the Clippers do have a slight reason to want to win. They would swap spots with the Jazz should they lose and the Jazz win. And Stephen Curry is listed. Curry and Klay Thompson are listed as being questionable for tonight as of right now. So, I mean, there's some developments in the West as well. I'm not as concerned with the West and maybe trying to chase the West as I am with the East. The East, you're looking at teams that have the possibility to not even make the playoffs with a loss. Like if the Pacers or the Bulls lose tonight, there's a chance one of them could get kicked out, especially the Bulls. The Bulls could get kicked right out of the playoffs if they lose tonight.
Yeah, and they're hosting the Orlando Magic. So what a great spot that is.
The Orlando Magic, I feel it's an excellent spot. And later on in the show, well, matter of fact, we won't even do later on because it's a 7:00 start. So we're just going to get into it right now. Listen, I'm on a 14 par, guys. It's that simple. I'm going with all 4 of the teams. I'm taking the Boston Celtics because if the Boston Celtics win, okay, and the Cavs lose, the Celtics will go up a game. Now, still, if the Cavs win on Tuesday night, the Cavs will solidify and win the East still because the Cavs own the tiebreaker between themselves and the Celtics. However, Celtics are at home tonight playing the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
No, Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics are at home playing the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see the Celtics losing.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so either, brother.
So I got the Celtics in the money line. I've got Milwaukee in the money line. Indiana money line, and I know this is probably going to hurt somebody's feelings and probably not going to feel it, but I'm taking the Chicago Bulls tonight. They are at home. I am taking the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to go for it one more time. I think they get the job done against the Magic. Be advised, Rajon Rondo is listed as out, which I don't necessarily think that hurts the Bulls. In fact, it might actually help them.
Sure.
So that's where we're at as far as that's concerned. That 14 parlay is in, and it is relatively heavy, not quite as heavy as the Cleveland Cavalier play was yesterday, but it is in and it's relatively heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And that once again is the Celtics, Bucks, Pacers, and Bulls.
Yeah, my man Jonesy's saying he thinks Curry is parked for the regular season. He should have been parked 3 games ago. I don't see. I mean, if you got the number 1 seed, why are you even bothering? You know.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, even when you look at, they have 66 wins. That's 15 more than anybody in the East. So, I mean, you're the number 1 seed, period. You know, in all of the playoffs. So, I don't know. Why even risk injury to these guys? You know, let them just put the bench guys in there. But looking at the rest of it here, Dream, the Wizards are getting 4 from the Pistons, and I know that John Wall's a game time decision, so I don't think Washington's going to throw much out there tonight.
I don't think Washington's going to throw much out either. Washington cannot catch the Raptors. They're 2 games away from the Raptors. They can't catch the Raptors. So let me just look at this one and make sure that they can't catch them. 1. Well, the Raptors actually will play the Cavs on Wednesday night.
Okay.
Washington does have a small chance at catching the Raptors, but I believe that the Raptors have the tiebreaker anyway, so Washington will not move up. Washington's going to end up keeping their same spot. No, Washington can't. Yeah, they can't move up, so there's no reason to start Wall.
No, exactly. It's a game time decision, so. Then looking at the rest of the NBA guys, because we're trying to find some spots where teams have nothing to play for and teams have everything to play for. But I think that's pretty much it. So, Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, Dream. Trying to find a starting lineup to see who's going to be in. And it looks like LeBron,
If you could get to Miami hat, they said that they will give you a shot.
Yeah.
That you play opposite Corver.
Yeah, right. Kevin Love is in the starting lineup. You got Deron Williams, J.R. Smith, Shumpert, Love, and Channing Frye in there for the Cleveland Cavs. And LeBron, Kyrie, and Tristan Thompson are sitting out. 11.5, though, Dream. That's a lot.
Dude, you know, I'll be honest with you. I know I'm going to sound bananas saying this. I still think that the Cavs with that lineup can beat the Heat. I'm sorry. I really think that they can. You know, if those guys came out and really played like they're supposed to play and execute and play right, and they should have got their feelings hurt a little bit. You know, they should be willing to go out there and show LeBron and Kyrie that they can play too, that they're professionals as well, and go out there and do their thing and handle their business. You know, it's plus 550, gang. You know, if you got a couple of extra bucks floating around, it might be worth it to just throw a couple pennies on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight as a live dog on the money line. I know they got their feelings hurt yesterday. And listen, yesterday's game, I know they blew the big lead. A couple of other little things that went on in that game, though. Dude, the refs, it seemed like towards the end of the game, kind of was like, you know what? Let's give the home crowd something to cheer about right. Because there was some awful calls at the end of that game that if they make a couple of those calls differently, the Cavs still win that game.
Yeah, I agree. I saw the highlights at the end, and I'm like, you know, there was 8 seconds and they were down 5 and won the game. I can't get over it. It's insane. It's insanity, man.
LeBron says that he tried to call a timeout on one of the inbounds that they called a 5-second violation with. Yeah. Then he said that he tried to call a timeout when they had Kyrie wrapped up. The 2 players that got Kyrie wrapped up, their feet are out of bounds. The refs missed that call. It just seemed like the refs were like, hey, you know what? You know, the Cavs had them up 20-something and then blew it. So you know what? We're not going to help them out at all.
Right on. That was agitating, man. Because you know what, you're in the plus so much. You know, now you got to just make a little bit of money. It's crazy, but hey, at least it wasn't a loser, Dream.
Absolutely crazy. It was not a loser on my end, but it just was. I don't know. I will say this though, I'm not going to entertain any thoughts about Cleveland repeating.
No,
I don't want to hear it, Hat. I don't want to hear it.
I
They're
don't
not
know.
beating nobody in the West. They're not beating no one in the West. And they possibly – the only thing that bothers me about the East is I know that Cleveland does not match up with Boston well. That I do know. So I still – I saw Atlanta. I mean, I'm not sold on Atlanta. Atlanta won, but I'm not sold on Atlanta.
Guess I'm Atlanta.
So –
Guess I'm Atlanta to win the NBA championship.
No, I can't do that. But I think that the Cavs will still ultimately come out of the East. But as far as them beating anybody from the West, I don't see it happening.
300-1 shot for the Atlanta Hawks to win the NBA championship. And the Golden State Warriors are minus 230. Oh my God, that's insane. That's absolutely insane for a team to basically run through the entire playoffs and win the title. That's nuts, Dream. So I got a little bit of a situation here. Somebody's trying to call in, but I can't add the call to Skype, Dream.
Oh,
can't do it. So maybe we'll try a little something else with that.
Okay.
To see what ends up going on here. But for some reason I can't add the call in, man. So we'll try to do it on my line and see how it works as we're pulling up the rest of this.
Yeah, we had a hockey guest scheduled to come on today to enlighten us about what's going on in the upcoming hockey playoffs. Hat, you know what? Why don't I'll tell you what. Let me drop off, put the caller in, and do the hockey.
Okay.
And I'll see. Can I maybe join you on the other?
Yeah. Just hit me with the other thing. That's it.
Okay, I'll hit you with the other thing.
All right, cool deal. All right, guys. So just bear with us here as we are doing some technical stuff over here at the biggest show in the world, getting ready for the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs. It's among us, and it starts next week. So hopefully we get this guy on so we can hear what he has to say about the NHL, and then we can talk a little bit about everything else that we got going on. But, he's right about the NBA, though. I mean, listen, we pointed this out on the other day. We pointed out actually on Friday. Where you get these teams that don't have anything to play for and so on and so forth. But I think we have a caller on the line. Who do we have on today?
The one and only.
The one and only. Who's that?
The one and only.
The one and only. Is this Big Sexy?
No, you two are the biggest sexy. What the hell is going on, man?
Oh,
Where are
what's
you
up?
guys?
Hockey Immortal. What's shaking, buddy?
Nothing. Life, my friend. How are you two?
Oh, we're good, man. We're good. Dream, are you there?
I am on the line. Is that Big Sexy in the
knows where he's
background?
Yep. That is him, man. He's here live with us, Dream.
You can't hear me, though.
How are you, brother? How's everything?
Good. Very good. Can you hear the Dream or just me?
No, it's just you.
Just me. All right, Dream, you're going to have to dip out for a minute so I can talk to my boy here.
No problem. Talk to him. No, I'll stay on because I can hear you. I can hear both of you.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
Stay on, and you just kick it with him and go over
Want
the
to call
hockey
back?
with him.
No. Just stay on, man. You're good. You're good to go.
Yeah,
So, yeah, let's have a conversation about the NHL playoffs because I know that you're out there. I know you play futures. And I'd like to get an idea where you see this going.
Same as last year. I like Pitt to win it all again.
The Pittsburgh Penguins to win it all again, huh?
See, I'm not sure which books have it, but like last year, I sent you who I thought was going to win, and then they have these futures where you don't even have to bet the whole Stanley Cup playoffs. You can bet who's going to win the East, who's going to win the West, and that's on Bovada.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And you can
I got
parlay them too.
Winning the East, and I got Chicago winning the West.
So you got a matchup between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, but I think that the East wins it again. It's not the Pens. I want to say the Capitals, but they're just, I don't know, there's something goofy about them.
Yeah.
I mean, they got everything they need to win it all, except goaltending. Their goaltending's good, and it's really, really good goaltending. It's just, these guys that have won it before, that have been there before, goaltenders especially in the playoffs, that's what counts for those goaltenders. And so these guys that have been there and done it before, it's a little easier for them come crunch time. So let me tell you, Washington's got it all. They're poised to win it all. I mean, they have everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to me they just one thing. That's that experience there.
Sure thing, man. I'm looking at the. There's a bunch of matchups. So all the matchups are released.
Right. Those are all rookies. And to me, that's where the real money's made. Is this first round, because you can bet just on a team to win the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there's some matchups in there that are just cake.
Nice.
I mean,
man.
Washington beating Toronto. I mean, you're probably going to be minus 200 for them to win the series, but that's money in the bank to me.
All right.
You know, so you can go series by series right now, first round, with some easy money there.
Dream, you there?
I am. I'm able to connect. Big Sexy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, damn.
All right. Good. We got transmission working correctly. So listen, I'm glad that I'm able to get in because I got some questions for you right out of the gate.
Shoot.
Okay, my first question is, give me some thoughts on what the hell happened to the San Jose Sharks this season.
Same thing that always happens, bro. They're bums. They're bums. The same thing happens to them every year, bro. Every year. Every single year, man. They just disintegrate. I don't even look at them anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, last year they picked up momentum in the playoffs, and they actually were
right, of course. And then what happens? Same thing that always happens. So they did it backwards this year. Instead of playing great all season and looking like the number one team in the West, like they do every damn year, they play like bums, and now they're in the playoffs. So maybe, it's the opposite effect, but it's the same old story with them, man.
So you give them So you give them no shot going up against the Oilers.
Yeah, I do give them a shot making it past the first round, definitely. But as far as anything after that, I don't see nothing.
Well, they're an underdog in that
and don't
series.
forget too, this is still their, their second year with this coach. And
right.
Before that, it was actually their first whole year with the coach.
Okay.
So that takes time to settle on in. You know what I'm saying? But they still have all those key players. But you know what I'm talking about. It's every year with the Sharks.
Right.
Every single year, bro. It's with them, and that's why I don't even pay them any attention. And I give them a lot of props for where they're at right now. But I mean, if you're thinking about putting money on them, and I'm talking serious money, you know what I'm saying? That's I couldn't do it. That's why I didn't even look their way. Now for the first round, yeah, I'll bet a few hundred on them advancing, beating Edmonton, of course. After that,
Edmonton's been.
I don't see who's going to beat Chicago or Minnesota in the West. It's impossible.
I hear you, but Edmonton's been strong, man, towards the end of this season. I don't know that I can even go with the Sharks being Edmonton. I think Edmonton's a dark horse for the West, to be honest with you.
You're going to get good money on them if you take them. I don't think they go anywhere.
You don't,
Again,
okay?
For me, it's all about experience. I mean,
okay.
Last year, with Pitt, that's the whole reason we took Pitt. Was because nobody played as good as them the last 2 weeks. Edmonton compared to Pitt last year, how strong they finished. Yeah, but these are all young guys running around playing games.
Okay, all right,
Pitt last
all
year
right.
had all experienced guys doing what they should have been doing late in the run, and look what they did. They smashed everybody with a rookie goalie.
Excellent. So we'll move out of the Sharks Oilers and leave that series alone. Talk to me a little bit about the Wild and the Blues.
I like the Wild. I already bet on them to advance the first round. I was telling your partner over here that's to me that's where the real money can be made. This first round. There's some easy series here. You know what I mean? Like you just bet on these first series, these playoff series for the teams to advance. You're getting some good money right there, man.
Okay.
To me, that's trying to pick someone to win it all and all that. I mean, it's good to be on your game, and it eventually does happen. Right now, the money's right in front of us. The first round, there's easy money out there.
All right,
I think Minnesota wins just because Minnesota's one of those teams that has a winning record against St. Louis. They just pretty much own them.
Okay.
When it comes down to it, like last year, they owned them last year too. They own like Chicago. Be the easiest, but like I was saying, you're probably going to be at minus 200. I think Washington to beat Toronto is the easiest money on the board.
Washington
Okay.
minus
But
3,
again, if
340.
you don't like paying that minus 200, you don't like paying that juice, then that's something you got to stay away from.
And I agree with you.
You know who I like a dark horse. I like Ottawa, man. They play tough.
Okay, I was getting ready
They
to
weren't even
move
supposed
there.
to make the playoffs this year, bro. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs this year, Ottawa. In the playoffs. Good goaltending. They just don't have a solid defense.
All right,
But,
I was getting ready to move to Ottawa, but time out. I'm going to back you up for a second. I agree with you 100%. Maple Leafs get ousted first round, probably get swept. Gang, I don't know if you've watched Maple Leafs. They backed their way into the playoffs. They struggled to win the other night, and of course they did play Pittsburgh. They lost to Tampa Bay when they should have beat Tampa Bay on Friday. I definitely agree with that synopsis. I got the Maple Leafs getting ousted first round. That I agree.
Yeah,
with
did you? And I watched their game. I watched the whole game last night because I had some decent coin on the Blue Jackets. And let me tell you, when it was 2-0 in the third or halfway through the second, I'm like, you kidding me? And then 1, 2, 3, boom! Columbus just wraps off 3 unanswered goals and wins the game. It's like, what? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, wow, that's it there. And so that's another loss for Toronto. To me, that's the easiest money on the board, bro. Regardless if you like minus 200, you know how we do it. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I'll bet 1,000 to win 500 all day long. I ain't got any problem with it.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with that 100%. Okay, now let's move on. Ottawa Senators versus the Boston Bruins. Boston, very inconsistent. I see the same thing out of them every season for the most part. Ottawa looks really sharp this year. I like what I've seen out of them. Power play kills have been really tough. Give me your thoughts on the Ottawa Senators.
I like Ottawa since the beginning of the year. They're one of my favorite teams. I was just hoping that they could, put up some good face this year, and they did more than that. They got goaltending, man. Boston's done. It's the same thing. Sort of like me. They kind of backed their way in. They didn't do much. The same old, same old. Their power play is, not where it needs to be. And again, one of the 3 main factors in the playoffs, man. Goaltending is number 1. Your power play, and if that's not there, it's going to be a long, tough road. So, Ottawa playing how they play, man. They play tough. It's that coach. Again, that's everything to them. That's how they play. They play the same way in and out. Once in a while they'll get lazy, but they're going to move past Boston. I think they're a better team right there.
I like that call. Now, I'm going to move over, and I want to hear this. I'm very interested in hearing, what do you think about this Rangers-Montreal Canadiens series? Because I am lost.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost too, but I don't know. This is if this was the only playoff game to bet on, it'd be right. I don't think anyone would know where to go with this one. It's going to be. I see this going 7.
Okay.
Back and forth. It's just I'm not going to give info out there that I'm not 100% on. But if I had to bet on this, I would bet the Rangers. This is not something I'm going to bet on. But
okay,
if I put a few hundred on it, I would definitely take the Rangers. And just because, again, I go over like the last 2 or 3 years, and it's the same goaltending, it's the same forwards, it's the same everything with both teams. So you can go back 2-3 years, their record against one another. That's in the Rangers' favor. They seem to get a little handle on Montreal through the season, so I would go with them. Mine's got probably the best goaltender in the world. You know what I mean? So, but again, that doesn't help if you're not scoring 2-3 goals a game.
Okay, perfect. All right, last but not least, Wednesday night, talk to me a little bit. Now, I know you like Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh to repeat again. Obviously, you're going to have to get through the Blue Jackets. Columbus, though, Columbus is not a pushover.
No, they're not. They're that's a sexy team right there, man. They did this year what I bet them to do last year, and they tanked. They had all those injuries last year.
Right.
But they did this wrong earlier in the year. You know what I mean? 16-0 run, 16 straight, and then just the way they played in the very beginning of the season. That's what I bet them the year before to do. I put a future on them, but it happened this year. They kind of they slowed down the last couple of weeks of the season. So we really see a lot of guys that scored in 5 or 6 games for them. First and second line actually just got off the schneid yesterday. It's Toronto. They finally scored a couple goals from guys that haven't scored in a week. And
Okay.
the team's going. So Columbus is going to push over. I'll tell you what I really like between these two. I like the overs in these games. I think the overs between these two guys are gonna fly because believe it or not, Columbus matches up well with Pittsburgh. The year before last, they took them 6 games into the first round. They should have went 7. This guy made a goofy play coming off the boards, and I forget who it was for Pittsburgh, shot it out right to the center, and boom, it was a goal. And that one mistake basically killed Columbus. But besides that, they match up well with Pittsburgh, and that's what this is about. It's about matchups.
Yes, it
the
is.
The only mismatch like I see that you can just bet your money on is the one we were talking about, Washington, Toronto. This is going to be a good series. I won down if this one goes 7-8.
Okay, let's move on to Thursday. We already talked about the Capitals and we talked about the Maple Leafs. I think that's a wrap. I do happen to like the Flames a lot this season. They're going up against the Ducks this year. Give me your thoughts about the Flames.
I like when you're on the ice. See what happens when you're on the ice? That thing's going, moving, shaking all around. I like the Flames too, bro.
Yes.
They're a good team, man. They're young, hungry, exciting, and they got good DC goaltending. I think they make it past the first round.
Hawk, let me ask you a question. What happened to the all-star goalies this year?
They're bums. They got that money. They were eating steak and lobster every night. There's no other explanation for it. I mean, what else do you see it? Well, how else do you see it? It's either steak and lobster or hookers and blow. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, and since we don't know the truth, we'll never know the truth. I was just going to chalk it up to steak and lobster. You know what I mean?
Gang, all of you guys are listening. This is the Hockey Immortal. He comes on and joins us a couple of times this season for hockey. Last year, absolutely ripped it up in hockey. We did the playoffs last year, which you came on. Everything came out mostly to fruition. It all worked out in the positive. And we I think we were like one of the only 2 on the Penguins.
Bro, we were. I cashed filthy last year on the Penguins.
Yeah, you had him at like 15-1 or something, didn't you?
Plus 550, 1,500, just to win. And that's what I want everyone to know. If you guys are on Bovada, you guys need to get your Bovada. They're one of the only books that has that betting type where you don't have to bet them to win the Stanley Cup. You have to bet them to win the East, who represents the East. And it's so rewarding. You know
Oh, yeah.
Once you win the East, and you got to win 4 more games, it's really, really tough to do. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are on Bovada, I highly endorse it because they're one of the only few books that have that just to win the East and who to win the West. You know, you can still bet to who to win and all that, but just winning the East and who win in the West, it's very, very sweet, man.
And for our audience education, nobody here is getting any money from Bravada before y'all start with that. But Hockey Immortal likes playing with them, so we're just letting them plug them.
Yeah.
Hot, last play. Talk to me now. Rene and the Preds, they're done, no?
What's that?
Rene and the Preds.
They have the team to win it all, but Chicago's ready to move. Chicago played right after the All-Star break. You can see where they actually started enjoying hockey. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Chicago, so that's my team. You know, but watching them every day, day in and day out, they just take their game to a whole nother level come the playoffs. And everyone knows it. You know it, I know it, and the American people know it. When the Hawks hit the playoffs, they're a different team, man. And so after that All-Star break, they started to show their caliber of play after that All-Star break.
And that Hawks-Preds series is my second
it's a great one. It's always
series. Yeah, I like that.
Back and forth.
I like to parlay that series with the Capitals. I like the Blackhawks and the Capitals right out of the gate for series parlays.
Well, you know what? This is why I love you, because I wasn't even thinking about parlaying, but now I am.
There you go. Parlay the series. Yep, that's it.
Parlay.
Cool deal, man.
Tanner, what's up with you, man? I missed you. Man.
I know, man. I've been just.
My daughter put the whammy on me, bro. She said, Dad, don't talk about it. Be about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you're telling me to go on a meeting fast, and yet you're on that thing every day, blah, 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 blah. Well, don't talk about it, Dad. Be about it. And she didn't talk to me for a day. Next day, I said, oh, you're right. Lead by example.
There you go.
Said, do I get any kind of a half-hour reprieve where I can tell everybody? She's like, no meeting, 6 months. And I'm like, okay. And I said, man, people are going to hate me or miss me or love me or all the above.
Oh, no doubt, man. Yeah, it's always great getting you on, brother.
You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you, for everyone out there, when you have a 17-year-old daughter and, you know what I'm saying, they live in Las Vegas and they want to do things with you, you better eat it up, man. Eat it up and steer them right. So I did that, and it's working out for the better. But I missed you guys.
Same here, brother. Yeah, I'm glad the Dream reached out to you and got you on the show, man. That's great. Good stuff.
Everything is good with you?
Everything is great, man. Yeah, everything, and the weather's starting to turn here.
You guys
now.
moved the show to the nighttime, I see. Huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's working out a little bit better for our schedules. But during the weekend, we still do the morning thing, and then we get the Evil Genius on and all that. So it's pretty good, man.
So when are we gonna all get together again?
We need to get out, Dream. We need to get out to Las Vegas.
We do need to get to Vegas. Tentatively, though, I would say probably not again until next year, March Madness. I mean, unless we just do like a side quick getaway, which we'll definitely be in touch with.
No side quick getaway. Just plan it in stone like you did the first time. That was the best.
I want to go on week 17 of the NFL, Dream.
Hat wants to go week 17 of the NFL. Hat's not the biggest fan of March Madness anymore because it was March Sadness for him this year.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with a little sadness in your life because when everything's going good, you just need a touch of it. That's it to balance everything out.
That loss is not as bad as the tie that I had yesterday with the Cleveland Cavs, Dream. With that game, with that 26,
this is true.
You know what I'm saying? The tie is worse. The tie, believe it or not, it's crazy, but it is what it is. So, hey man, thanks for joining us, dude. We really appreciate it as always.
Anytime. Are you kidding me? Anytime. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys.
All right, sounds good.
Listen, I'll reach out to you next round of the series. We'll redo it again.
Yeah, because I'm right now. I've already got my laptop up. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm parlaying that Chicago. Washington, that's gotta be right there.
There you go.
Perfect.
I don't parlay, but I will parlay that.
All right.
Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love you guys.
I love you too.
All right,
brother.
I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, Dream. So good hockey information, man.
No, the hockey's good, man. It was great to get him on. Last year he absolutely killed it. This year it looks positive again. He's right with me. I see Pitt. I don't see anyone beating Pitt. Chicago's tough. Don't get me wrong. The Blackhawks are tough. Mm-hmm. If it comes to Blackhawks, Pittsburgh, we will definitely have to have the conversation. But outside of Chicago, I don't see anybody in the West really challenging Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's going to get as tough, as far as I'm concerned, Pittsburgh's going to get a tough test right out of the gate against this Columbus team. And that should get them all set and get them fired up and going into the next couple of rounds with even more momentum. So it looks the hockey playoffs look to be exciting. Gang, they start Wednesday. In case you don't know, the hockey playoffs do start Wednesday. It starts off with it's two Western Conference games. That's Blues Wild, Sharks Oilers, and 3 Eastern Conference games. That's going to be Rangers Canadiens, Bruins Senators, and Blue Jackets Penguins. And we'll be locked into that Wednesday. And then Thursday will be what's left over. It'll be 3 games left over on Thursday. And that's always an exciting time. We do well in hockey, especially the series plays. Don't really get involved in the game-to-game plays, but the series plays I do like a lot in hockey.
All right, sounds good. So just pulled something up real quick here, Dream. The Portland Trailblazers basically sitting everybody playing pop tonight. So that's why the San Antonio Spurs are giving 10.5 in Portland tonight.
All right.
Interesting matchup. Going to see the full starting lineup of the Spurs, maybe for a half. Probably good to get a first half, no?
Oh no, I'm good. I got enough with the East player. I'm not even getting. I got enough on my plate. I don't need no more. Listen, I had enough stomachache yesterday dealing with that Cleveland Cavalier game. I'm gonna fly with the East tonight and try to get these little 4 games that I got in play, get them wrapped up, and move forward with that.
All right, sounds good, man. So let's close it out of here, Dream. Unless you got anything else.
What are you gonna do nothing with the bases?
I'm good with the. You know what? Tonight, I'm gonna talk to the evil genius and see what he's on. To be honest with you, brother.
Hey, gang, in case you don't know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 baseball games left this evening. We've already had a few go off. Tigers beat the Red Sox. Yankees beat the Rays already. The Oakland Athletics are up against the Royals 2-0. The San Francisco Giants are beating the Diamondbacks 3-1. And Astros and Mariners are at a 0-0 tie right now. You got Reds Pirates, Cardinals Nationals, Mets Phillies, Dodgers Cubs, Padres Rockies. Do we all like the Cubs for the series?
Let me pull it up here real quick. If you just give me 1 second, Dream. It's too early for me to tell yet.
Okay.
You know, I like to kind of see what's going on. You know, kind of watch a few games and go from there. But I could tell you, the Red Sox sure lost their series. they got murdered by the Tigers, man.
Yeah, they did.
They're like 3 games in a row. Cubs series versus the Dodgers. It's a tough series. I'll probably hang back and just watch that one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So that's that, brother.
All right, that's going to do it, gang. We are going to get up out of here. Listen, I told you where we're at as far as the NBA is concerned tonight. I will go over it one more time for those of you maybe that are just catching on now. It is a 4-team parlay, and these all have playoff implications. So I'm expecting to get max effort out of the teams that are left. I'm looking at the Boston Celtics, because if the Cleveland Cavaliers lose tonight, Boston will take the lead in the East, but can ultimately lose it back on Wednesday. However, I'm going to take the Boston Celtics. We're going to take the Chicago Bulls against the Orlando Magic. We're going to take the Milwaukee Bucks against the Hornets. Please note, Kemba Walker may get scratched in this for his start against the Bucks tonight. And we're going to, last but not least, take the Indiana Pacers to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. That's the 4-team money line parlay there. And I wish everybody best of luck if you're getting on that and enjoying that with me. I once again apologize for our audio difficulties. We are still trying to get this thing together, but for some reason, we just can't get it right.
We will, though. We definitely will. Absolutely. So, and you know what? The Arizona Diamondbacks, because they're 6-1, went from 125-1 all the way down to 40-1 to win the World Series. Do you imagine that?
Wow.
Just with 6 wins. So 40-1 is not good value, guys. So
no doubt. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. We got Terrence Mack in the house, Benjamin Rowe, INT, Mr. Charlie over at Direct Sports Solution. Jim Roman's a douche. Good to see you. Hit you with the hockey, baby. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it later because he hits me up back and forth a lot. Joseph Del Rosario's in the house. Cash Action Bets out there. He's heavy into baseball. Shane Whitehead, Fast 8072, What's Happening Player, and Bang the Books out there as well. Gang, go out there, do your thing. Hat says to take it easy, but I feel like right now is the time to get him because you got a little.
It is. I agree with you. This is probably the weekend when this is the weekend when we should. This is the week that we should go to Vegas next year.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And
it's like a little opportunity to get him right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And you know what? Just because you coming to the close of hockey, coming to the close of the NBA, so it's like perfect time. You know what? I think we'll book it, Dream, because you know what? This is right around our birthdays as well.
No doubt.
We should plan this week, the last week of the regular season with those 2 sports, to come down and basically pay for the whole trip. What do you think?
No doubt. I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. So anyway, gang, we're going to get out of here. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day as we cannot get this time back. And we will see you back on Thursday. If you're going to get in those hockey games Wednesday, we won't be here Wednesday, but we'll be back on Thursday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time start. Peace and love.
All right, guys. Go out there and get that money. Let's go.